I have more art ideas for if you're bored this summer. Use any highlighter to draw like a city scene. I actually use this mild liner. So like since with a highlighter you can get a really narrow and a really broad tip, you're able to just use the same pen to draw an entire scene. You can draw like something that you ate. So here I drew my breakfast. You can use complementary color schemes. Here I use purple and yellow. This just makes sure that the lighting is very bright. And follow for a part 4.
How to fill up a sketchbook page. First we plan where everything is going to be. Then we erase and finish our sketches. This time I decided to overlap my drawings to make the page more dynamic. Now we pick color. I like adding the blush and shadows before the base color. Cruising makes it look smoother. This time I wanted to try a new technique and do the litter with colored pencils, and I think it maybe uncirculated was what I was going for. Now I paint the background and add details. I gave the drawings a white outline to give them a sticker feel. I add the character's name, and we're done.
After 4 years of studying industrial design, I have filled over 10 sketchbooks, and I have decided I would like to go and randomly select a book and a page and completely redraw it from scratch. I don't want to just redraw it one-to-one. The goal is to improve on the sketch using what I've learned. Today it looks like we're going to be drawing page 26 from book 9, which is this kind of ugly little clamp here. Weirdly enough, the page right before is a red electric guitar, which is what I drew in my last TikTok. Kind of a real uncomfortable coincidence. So I'm just going to get started with a light gray fine liner, and I think the biggest thing I want to improve about this drawing is the page composition. I think the last drawing was very bland and everything just kind of felt like it was floating there, not to mention the really ugly hands. I just want to rearrange where everything's sitting, make it all make sense, and kind of fill in all these gaps that were left in the previous one. I also really love the effect of adding a grounding box behind. It's a pretty standard practice for product design sketches, but what it does is it just brings your product to the foreground, and it kind of makes the product feel like it's sitting in real space as opposed to just floating on a white page. After I finish with the light gray fine liner, I go in with a black Sharpie fine liner, and then I start rendering. I'm using a whole bunch of cool grays for this and that nice bright red. One of my favorite things to render is wood, because you can have a lot of fun with the way the grain works and everything's organic, so if you mess up it's it's just an imperfection in the wood. So I just added some quick little highlights with the paint pen, and now we are finished. Here is the old sketch compared to the new one. I'm kind of really happy with the way all the reflections and shadows and everything came out. Overall, this sketch took, I think, roughly an hour and a half, and I had a lot of fun with it. So hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. Thank you for watching.
One, you want to get your favorite book, you want to get your favorite scene out of your favorite book, and then you want to draw that. Another way to fill up your sketchbook is to go on your favorite game and go on the models in your game, and then get something that kind of makes your skin crawl, and just, put it in a weird ass position, and then draw that. This really helps you get out of your comfort zone while also experimenting with other creatures and things that don't really exist without having to spend so much money. Number 3 is song lyrics. I like to put song lyrics in my sketchbook because it acts as a good accent page whenever I'm going through it, and I remember when I see those words, it often kind of rejuvenates those creative juices, and it kind of allows me to get out of a funk if I actually feel bad while I'm going in my sketchbook. So I hope this helps.
a super easy way to fill your sketchbook. Draw a bunch of thin leaves on a page in one color, and then go in and do the same thing with a couple other colors. Be sure to keep your color palette very limited to add a cohesive look. It will look like a cool, modern wallpaper when you're done.
Number 1, draw from life or photographs. Drawing from life is one of the best ways to improve your drawing skills. Number 2, make sketchy notes and brainstorms. I use mine to not only make drawings but also to make random notes of ideas and to brainstorm things. Number 3, do mindless scribbles. Sometimes I just don't draw anything and make random scribbles. Yeah, I just make random scribbles in my sketchbook. And trust me, man, a lot of it is weird. 4, test your ideas. This is actually the place where you go crazy and test all the things that comes to your head. Number 5, copy other artists. If you are copying to learn from them and to improve your skills as an artist, then it's completely a-okay.
Motivation to actually finish my sketchbooks. So firstly, I have this poster of a mildly threatening fish on my wall. That's fun. But a major thing actually is the size of the sketchbook, which is a huge factor because something like this is a lot more entertaining than something like this. As you can see, I also prefer using brighter colors just because I find something like this a lot more boring than something like this. Another way I love keeping sketchbook motivation is challenging myself with quantifiable goals. For example, challenging myself to draw 100 houses or 500 fish. So this way my goals in practice will seem a lot more worth something because there is an endpoint in sight. This is an example of how I improve my art with this technique. Another thing is just to experiment with materials. Personally, I love doing mixed media and it keeps a lot of motivation. Lastly, just draw what you like. No one's really forcing you to draw anything that you don't like. Personally, I love drawing sea creatures and that's like what a lot of my pages are filled with. Okay, bye.
How to fill up empty space on your sketchbook page. Coral Reef Edition. You can draw blob and skinny ovals inside a circle to make a sand dollar shell. Then add lots of circles with a little black circle and messy circles inside. Then you can add some ovals that have a star on one end, more messy lines. Then I draw little frumpy tubes. For filler in between the shells and circles and stuff, you can add some weird soggy fries, or more circles but tiny, or some ice cream cones. Last, you can add some fin-shaped coral. Change the size shape of the coral to fit in any kind of empty space you want to fill in your sketchbook.
100 plus ways to fill a sketchbook. Number 11, we're past that 10 mark. Whoa, scribble! Yes, folks, you heard correctly. I want you to scribble in your sketchbook. Once you're satisfied with the amount you've scribbled, try creating pictures using, as much as you can, only the lines that have been placed down already as guides. This is very similar to the blob art challenge, in which, with both of these approaches to art, you look to create something out of a chaotic mess left. This creative exercise is not a bad warm-up, and I've especially enjoyed scribbling like this when I'm struggling with art block. I've created some doodles I'm rather proud of using this method, such as this body dysmorphia inspired type thing and this God complex inspired type thing. Scribbling on its own feels incredibly satisfying, and then creating something from that mess feels even more satisfying. Almost like solving a puzzle. So go forth and have fun creating and then solving your own puzzles by finding images in the chaos that is scribbles.
Doing the flowers and finding creative ways to kind of fill my sketchbook. And I really love doodling and putting all this little paint to the paper and the tactical nature of just playing around in your sketchbook. And I started doing these 100 flower challenge, and even though the flowers turned out like donut blobs I really, really love them. And I think it's a wonderful creative way for you guys also to kind of just escape and not worry about what's going on. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Here's the finished piece. I love it. It looks beautiful. And hopefully you join me for another sketchbook Sundays, Mondays, whatever day it is. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Here's a super easy and calming way to fill your sketchbook. Draw a bunch of blobs all over a page like this with a couple different colors. If you stick to just a few colors, it won't be overwhelming, and boom, at the end it looks super cool.
If you say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave with what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave. I just want to see you. I just want to see you.
Then said they bugging and they pants all foul. Don't you man?
Ideas to fill your sketchbook.
Part 7. Pets.
People.
Pages dedicated to testing new products. Example how the color looks or if smudges or bleeds through. I like to write the product's name and sometimes the size of the pen. I do a few test lines, going lighter and harder, sometimes shading, smudging, and even a drawing. Here's an example of the pen's bleeding through. And some more pages dedicated to testing pens. But if you're using something more inky, I would just recommend searching up ink pen testing.
Here's another sketch I did with the multicolored pencil. I think this is my new favorite way to sketch in my sketchbook now, especially when I'm having a art block. If you have like a multicolored pencil, I definitely recommend doing this. One thing I really enjoy about it is the fact that every time I put the pencil down, I don't know what color I'm going to be using. There comes a point where I do figure out which side is what as I use it, but I try not to do that too much. If you're dealing with art block, 100% do this. This will definitely help.
She call me daddy, I don't even know her mama. She gon' do it for some Dolce & Gabbana, Louis, Gucci, Fendi, Prada, design with no strings attached like Balenciaga. She call me daddy, I don't even know her mama. She gon' do it for some Dolce & Gabbana, Louis, Gucci, Fendi, Prada, design with no strings attached like Balenciaga. Oh, look at all these hoes I'm attracting. She blue, so I pull a bag on her fast. Sexual relations with no strings attached. I just got her new Fendi's with no strings attached. Baby gave me mad face without the attitude. She gon' do it all for Chanel dip.
How to doodle in 23 seconds. First grab your pencil and plan out what you actually want to doodle. For this one, I'm going to be drawing a doodle skull with flowers around it. Then you'll want to start adding filler elements. These can be simple things like flowers, clouds, or even slime. You'll also want to add some bigger and more interesting doodles, which I'm doing by adding large flowers with eyes on them. But essentially, repeat this process until the entire area is filled, and you should end up with something like this.
I feel bad about what happened.
So, you're apologizing?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't forgive you.
Herb, I said I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I do not forgive you.
Not sure you get what's happening here. This could be the last time that
No, I'm not going to give you closure. You don't get that. You have to live with the shitty thing you did for the rest of your life. You have to know that it's never, ever going to be okay.
I really think that we'd both feel better if we
I'm dying. I'm not going to feel better. And I'm not going to be your prop so you can feel better.
But I didn't think...
You know what it was like for me? I had nobody. Everybody left. I knew...
Oh yeah, take a number. I was lightning before the thunder.
So I'm $200,000 in debt from going to art school, and I wanted to show you what I made today. I drew Sonic from memory in my sketchbook. These ones are my personal favorite. I also drew some Chow from memory, and Sonic Chow. Honorable mention for Knuckles, and also Tails. This one has no ears. This one has people skin, of course. This one's just about McFucking had it. Drawing the hands from memory was a struggle. What the fuck am I doing with my life?
Makes art, you know, like it can hit people, and you don't know when or where or who or how, but you know, if you don't ever put it out there, then nobody can be hit by it, and then nobody can create something out of it. And I think it's like important to just get it out there, so because there's gonna be somebody that gets something from it, you know, even if everybody hates what you're doing, if one person likes it,
Yeah.
You're creating art in that person's brain.
Dime, esto es lo que tú querías. Yo soy fino, esto es...
Love I think it's safe to say that we all got influenced by Izzy's TikTok and bought a sketchbook and the same Stabilo Pen 68 set. I cannot draw to save my life, but I'm trying to let go of perfectionism and also get better at sketching things I see. So this is what I've done so far. Please don't judge. These are some random ones. I drew the snake plant in my apartment. I drew a bearded dragon on a skateboard. I also have been drawing a lot of pigeons because there's a lot of pigeons in New York and they're really cute. I love it when they're sleeping, so I kind of drew one in this like sleeping position. The lips look a little weird there. Pigeon with a weirdly long neck. I saw this on Pinterest. I thought like, oh, that can be cute to draw. Pigeons, more pigeons, ducks. I love ducks. I found it really easy to draw vegetables and fruits because it leaves a lot of room for imperfections. It doesn't really have to be perfect. Sushi, some random patterns I saw on Pinterest. I also found some cool like doodling exercises on TikTok. Like it could look like this. It's really cool. Flower.
Make her disappear just like poof, then she's gone. Addicted, don't know what the fuck I'm on. I can't. I wanna.
Povo que eu cheguei, mais outra vez apresentar meu baianá.
Season my sketchbook for hard life. Add me, user Mio_Magi.
Putting a doodle in my main sketchbook. Covering up an oldish drawing. I thought this backing for a sticker sheet I got was cool, so I'm using it to layer. This silly painting is so fun but so unnecessary. Why layer? Because it's my silly little sketchbook cry about it. I know it's just a stupid little doodle I'm putting in her, so I'm adding a ton of stickers for funsies. Frida Lydia. What crimes will she commit? Last few stickers. I'm loving the cyber vibe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Doodle with me! One of my New Year's resolutions to be on my phone list, so I started doing some more creative hobbies. Here outside. I'm just gonna walk around until I find something that inspires me. And I walked around the city just trying to find things that stuck out to me. And then I found this really cool dog park. It's just so cool, so I think I'm gonna sit down and do some doodles. This is a dog park, so there's literally dogs everywhere, so I might do some sketches of them too. Let's do this! Sketch from yesterday. The whole reason I got into this is I saw a girl on TikTok, her name's Izzy, carries this around with her everywhere. So inspired. I just want to kind of have fun with art, so I'm getting into it. She's absolutely amazing. I love all of her content. Happy little doodles. That's what it's looking like so far. Super abstract. I guess this is a dog park, so there's a bunch of dogs walking around. There's some dogs on the side. This kind of looks like waves, so I think I'm gonna draw like a dog surfing waves. Super random, but I'm feeling it. There's my little surfboarding dog.
I'm just gonna fill in some blank space. Just added a yellow background because I feel like I needed a pop of color. It's currently 8 a.m. Such a cool way to start my morning. The creative flow going. And I think it's done. Super funky, kind of all over the place, and I love it. Thanks for doodling with me. Have a great day. Bye.
My drawing process from start to finish. Start, finish.